none of the other wrestling companies adopt it so we can have 100% of the market share.
Yo, my name is, and I'm a rapper.
It was real hip hop. I mean, I was talking to Paul Heyman and Triple H last week. Like,
and what do you think?
Natty, TJ, come join First Class. You got a spot. You can't make a new move. Ricochet already exists.
Welcome everyone back to a brand new episode of The Angle with Joey Carney. Today, I'm joined by a guy who's been riding First Class to the top, hitting off rows of talent along the way. He's bringing the world of digital media from the outside to the ring. And if you don't believe me, he's got the hardware there to prove it. It's AJ Francis. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, man? Yeah, TNA Digital Media Champion. Like I said before, I've been a digital media champion in this business for a few years now. Now it's just official.
I love it. I love it. You're doing something that really no one else is. You're blurring the lines between wrestling, sports, music, and from point of view, it's your work ethic. You're always just doing something new. You're always trying to get better, whether it's music, wrestling, creating, going above and beyond. Where does that drive, that motivation come from?
I've just always been this way. People say that it's hard work and it's dedication and it's but everything I've ever done in my life, I had to work my ass off for. Nothing ever been handed to me ever in my life. Maybe not a lot of wrestlers can say that, but I mean, when I was in high school, I used to take a train 45 minutes just to get to my high school, go to school all day, then have to wait around 2 hours at the train station for the last train to leave out, and then take a train 45 minutes home, do my homework on the train, finish my homework up when I got home, eat, and then wake up in the morning, 6 a.m. next morning and do it all over again. I mean, when I was, I played in the NFL. Those training sessions start very early and they end very late. Training camp is from, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day for a month, so it's like, I'm used to working hard. I'm used to busting my ass. I'm used to going out there. And also, I felt disrespected by the fact that people who work with me know how good I am, but people talk down on my name like I'm not one of the best in the world at this business, and I am. I'm better than your fave, and if you got a problem with it, I'll slap the shit out of you and them. So I don't really care what anybody says about me.
I love it. I love it. And you touched on the NFL. Coming from the NFL, was wrestling and WWE always the goal while you're in the NFL?
Yeah, I wanted to be in WWE before I ever got to the NFL. Growing up as a kid, honestly, my dad was a basketball coach. I wanted to play in the NBA. But 6'5", 330 pounds is not a NBA size, but it's great for football. So I ended up changing my career path, going to the NFL. And if I didn't make it to college out of high school, I would have became a wrestler. If I didn't make it to the NFL out of college, I would have became a wrestler. Just so happens I was able to play 6 years in the NFL, and then I became a wrestler. So it's what I always wanted to do. It's the perfect blend of all the things that I love, acting, music, performance art, physicality, so it's a good time and I love it.
TNA right now is popping more than ever, and you're a huge part of that. You're
welcome.
Yeah, you're bringing in streamers, content creators to market to different audiences. Now, do you think this is something other wrestling companies should adopt as well? And have you gotten any backlash for that change?
No, I hope none of the other wrestling companies adopt it so we can have 100% of the market share. I'm sure within the next 2 years, everybody will do it and they'll pretend that I wasn't groundbreaking when I did it. Just like they pretend I didn't help make Joe Hendry a star. They pretend that my contributions are, vital. In 2021, I tried to bring Arsenal, the battle rap legend, on NXT with Hit Row, and they told me that's not the look we're going for. And then, this year they bring them out with Trick. So, I'm always ahead of the curve. I'm always a person that has ideas that nobody's thinking about. And, when they come out a few years later, I never get the credit for them. But it's cool. I don't need it. I know that I got it, man. And I hope that none of the other companies use this plan because it's working so well for TNA. So I hope that they remain blissfully ignorant and that they continue to believe that TV is the medium of the future.
Is there any backlash for, when people see something new, a new idea, a new change. Is there any
Yeah.
backlash that comes along with that? Have you gotten any of that with this change?
Yeah, I mean that's when there's always backlash with everything and new in wrestling. I mean, one of the reasons a lot of people used to shit on Hit Row was because it wasn't caricature rap. It wasn't yo yo yo. My name is and I'm a rapper. It was real hip hop. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And that was the problem. Like random wrestling fans didn't like it, but DJ Who Kid liked it, and Snoop Dogg liked it, and Run DMC liked it, and Bun B liked it, and the list. I could go on and on. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
yeah, okay, fine. But like there's always anything new. There's always going to be detractors. I mean, especially with this Twitch thing, man. It's like a lot of people don't understand that I really like when I became digital media champion. I realized like there's a market in the digital media that's not being used.
yeah,
And it's the fact that like every single streamer that streams TNA, they stream every other show and they post clips from every other show, but they just can't show the show on their screen. And that's what makes a difference. And that's also how you can drive people to TNA Plus because on TNA Plus, man, for $10 a month, you get every TNA show and the pay-per-views. So
yeah.
it's like,
Makes
you know what
sense.
I'm saying? It's like what the WWE network used to be, except even then you had to get Raw and SmackDown on cable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But TNA Plus, you get everything for $10 a month, and we're actively trying to drive people who are on their computers and all trying to watch along with their favorite content creators.
Yeah.
There, I mean, like the thing is like people say it's ahead of the curve, but it's really not. Wrestling is just always behind.
Yeah.
Uh, for example, if you watch Monday Night Football on ESPN, you get the regular commentator clue. If you watch it on ESPN2, you get Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Or you might get Kevin Hart. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And they're still watching the game, but it's couch commentary about the game. Like we've already been in that space. It's just wrestling is behind. And me trying to bring wrestling forward makes some people upset. And luckily I don't give a damn what those people think.
TNA over the last while have really been the ones to branch out first, whether it's New Japan or anything in Japan, AEW, and now they're working with WWE, the land of opportunity. It seems like TNA is always the first ones to test out these new things. And it's due to that passion that the company has. You know, for so long, I've been a fan of TNA, and you see the passion is what keeps them afloat, or you guys afloat. What's it like being there around people who are open to new ideas and trying to, prove themselves opposed to the bigger companies, WWE, AEW, and elsewhere?
It's great, man. I mean, like I said this before in interviews before, but like WWE don't need me. WWE don't need me to bring Bun B or Shawn Merriman or DJ Who Kid or any of the other celebrities that I brought along. If they want them, they can have them. You know what I'm saying? Like the Usos wanted to have their own entrance when they main evented WrestleMania, but WWE was like, "We're gonna put Little Uzi with you," and they were like, okay, I mean, it's cool. Like, Lil Uzi's a huge star, but like, they kind of wanted to do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, but WWE has the juice; they can do whatever they want. So they bring out Lil Uzi and they put him with the Usos. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need me, but company like TNA, we need all the exposure we can get.
Yeah.
So when I pitch an idea, it's not immediately shot down because it was my idea. I don't have to pretend and make it seem like it was their idea.
Yeah.
It's just a good idea, so they like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have to swindle them into thinking, hey, maybe we should let the Twitch streamers stream these shows. They were just like, oh, okay, yeah, that'll probably bring us more eyes, more, especially around the time that they finally started allowing you to watch TNA Impact on TNA Plus. They're like, yeah, we need to drive up subscriptions for TNA Plus, so this is a good idea. So they just let me do it. Every promo that I ever had on NXT on TNA. Nobody asked me. I mean, nobody told me what to say. Nobody really even asked me what to say. Like, out of respect, I'll tell them what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, they let chefs cook. The problem is a lot of wrestling companies, the company wants to be the chef. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's your company. Do it at what you want. But when you got somebody that's good enough to do it, let them do it. Instead of forcing the mic in the hand of somebody who can't control a segment on the mic, let your talkers talk. Yeah. I'm never, ever going to out wrestle Mike Bailey. It's never going to happen. It'll never happen. but he's never going to outtalk me either. So let's make sure that we do both what we do well. And if me and him work a feud together, I'll do most of the talking, and then he'll wrestle his ass off in the matches that we have, and I'll be right there with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you make the most out of what everybody does. I personally think and know I'm the best big man in the world. There is not another big man in the world that possesses all the skills that I have. As far as in the ring, on the mic, bringing exposure, like there isn't one.
Yeah.
Strength, athletic ability, there isn't one. I'm the best one walking earth.
Yeah.
And every time I say that, some people get mad, but I don't care because you're not going to do nothing about it. That's another thing about this wrestling thing is I say what I want because these guys, they don't really be fighting. They don't really they know how to talk on the internet. I ain't never all these wrestlers that get the spicy talk and I'm so tough in person. It's how you doing, brother? Nice to meet you. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so I say how I feel because that's how I really feel. Like there's a lot of dudes that I respect in this business, but that don't mean I don't think I'm the best. I am.
Hit Row to me when in NXT was the next big thing in pro wrestling. I remember when you guys got drafted in the draft, that was the biggest shock of the draft. It was the most exciting thing to happen in
We
that.
didn't know.
Yeah. I've had
We
the
found out on accident. A Fox executive came up to us backstage and was like, "Oh man, can't wait to get you guys with the Fox writing staff so we could, get forward going on what's going on." And we were like, "What?" Because they spilled the beans. We had no idea.
I had the opportunity to chat with Brianna and even Tahuti, and we talked about the story, and they were like, we had no idea we were there. They ran into somebody backstage, and they say, meet with us, and what the hell's going on? But after that, you guys had the releases, and all three of you handled it so well. Like you took it on the chin, you kept going, and you just kept moving. And a lot of respect to you guys for to do that and to be able to do that. Is that door always open for you, that WWE door?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Paul Heyman and Triple H last week. Like, these are like, I still am in communication with everybody there. Like, the thing is like, I'm just doing my own thing right now.
Yeah.
Like, before, if you thought that I was just the heavy big man in a crew and just stand there and look big and be that person in Hit Row, if you thought that, you were wrong then. But if you pay attention right now, you'll see exactly how wrong you are.
Yeah.
The best thing that happened to me in TNA is Tommy Dreamer makes sure I get a mic every single episode. I talk every single episode. Wait till you see the upcoming episodes we just filmed in Philly. Like I have major talking segments in huge spots, and I kill them because there's no one that talks better than me. There never has been, and like the fact is, I need a mic.
Yeah.
If you give me a mic, I'll show you that I'm better than everybody else you got. And if anyone thinks I'm not, stand 6 feet away from me with a microphone in your hand, and let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Like, there's a reason why in those infamous both. It's funny because both times they did an Uncle Phil joke. LA Knight and Joe Hendry, they both did an Uncle Phil joke. There's a reason why I didn't have a mic in my hand. Because an Uncle Phil joke is very easy to come back with when the person you're talking to is obviously a cornball. But there's a reason why you don't get to talk in those situations.
Yeah.
Because the point isn't to get yourself over, it's to get that person over, right? So it's all good. My thing is when it comes to especially like we got released and then I got released again. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna stop me from being great. There's a line from a rapper named 38 Special. He said it perfectly. He said, I pray to a 40-pound Glock that I'm a prosper, and any weapon formed against me shall not. And there is nothing, you can put whatever you want in my way. I'm gonna succeed. I've done it my whole life. I went from undrafted to 6 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the thing is, like, you can't stop me. You can't stop my greatness. You can hate though. You can hate all you want. Go. Feel free. Feel free to hate. Drive them comments up. Drive that exposure up. Make sure hate as much as you want. But what you're not going to do is stop me from being great.
I love what Brianna and Tahuti are doing with Natty and TJ in the dungeon. That could be a wrestling show in itself. And there's
Yeah.
rumors of Natty's contract with WWE coming up soon, and potentially TJ. Would you see them, or what would you like to see them do something with TNA? And what do you think?
Natty, TJ, come join first class. You got a spot. You got a spot at first class. I'm telling you that right now. Natty and TJ are two of my biggest supporters.
Love that.
You know, they've been nothing but nice to me. They said nothing but nice things about me. They know how talented I am, and they know that I got a raw deal. You know, and they understand that, and they respect the fact that I'm still out here busting my balls and going out and working my ass off and earning the respect that I always deserved.
Yeah.
So yeah, Natty, TJ. You know, I've never been in a faction with white people before, but you know, that's it. You know, they're Canadian. It's like off white, so it'll be great.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I want to touch on Scott being gone from TNA because you were around for that era. Scott being gone from
just
TNA.
one day. I was only with Scott for one weekend, but yeah.
A huge shock to the people in TNA, but really a shock as well to the fans. What was that transition like? I know you said you were there for a day or so, but picking up where he left off and continuing on, what was that transition period like?
I mean, for me, honestly, there wasn't a difference because I was brought in because of Tommy Dreamer, and you know, Tommy always had my back from day one,
Yeah.
and Tommy's still there and still has my back. Tommy's still making sure I get the opportunities I deserve. So for me, it really, I wasn't with Scott for years.
Yeah.
You know, I met Scott I met Scott before, like offhand, but I met him for real that Hard to Kill when I debuted. And, you know, we talked and he loved what I did. And we've talked since. And, I have nothing but respect for the man. But for me personally, not really much changed. I came in and debuted with DJ Who Kid and, had the segment with Joe Hendry. And, me and Joe Hendry ended up having, I don't care what anyone says, AJ Francis and Joe Hendry is the feud of the year in all of professional wrestling. Don't believe me? Look at Joe Hendry right now. Who else is he feuded with this year? Don't worry, I'll wait. So, that's the feud of the year in professional wrestling. And, not to mention that, like I debuted with DJ Who Kid, who I just had on TNA this past weekend, and it's already aired last week what I did with him. So like, for me, not really much has changed. It's pretty much been the same thing. But Scott had a lot of respect with the guys and the girls in the locker room. Still does, and for them, it might have been a bigger change than it was for me. But I got nothing but love and respect for Scott. I'm just grateful for the fact that I was able to come in during his tenure and make the most of it.
I love that. A big thing in wrestling is branding. And I talked for a while recently with Jonathan Coachman about it. You wave your flag real high, whether it's WWE, TNA, and you bring that digital media championship everywhere you go and you post about it. It's something that Cody Rhodes does very well. And even Logan Paul, the branding of being the guy. This is what I'm doing. This is my title. Being that it is your first singles title, is that something that you planned on doing? That branding aspect?
Well, I mean, yes, it's my first singles title on TV. Once again, people are behind me, man. In 2020, I brought the Sausage Castle Wrestling title to Cuba. Okay, so like I was doing it big back then.
Yeah.
There's the infamous picture of me nude on a balcony, covered up by the title. So like, I've been doing this for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this since 2019. Actually, I lied. Since 2019. I went on tour for my music in 2019, and I've shared the stages with KRS-One and the Ghetto Boys and some of the biggest names in hip hop. And I had my wrestling title with me. So this is something I've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
Now it's just on a bigger stage because TNA is obviously a way bigger name in the business,
Yeah.
and that's why I bring Bay with me to. She's seen 4 Copa America games in the last week. I mean, she's full.
I
She's
love
been
it.
to Niagara Falls. She's been to Mexico. She's done a lot. She's probably got more passport stamps than half these wrestlers' girlfriends. So it's like, I take her with me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, Bay goes. You know what I'm saying? If she wants to be first row at Mexico versus Jamaica, I'm sorry, at Jamaica versus Ecuador in Las Vegas, that's where Bay's going to be. If she wants to be first row at Panama versus who was it yesterday that they were playing? It was actually that was Ecuador, wasn't it? Yeah. If she wants to be first row for that, that's her. You know what I'm saying? She wants to be in a suite. She wants to be in Bun B's suite for Colombia versus Paraguay. That's where Bay goes. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. I take her everywhere with me. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a reason why I wouldn't take her with me because she's very good arm candy.
Love it. Bay, I'm pretty jealous of Bay at that point, going all this, doing these things, going everywhere.
Yeah, man. You
I
take
love it.
care of your woman, she'll take care of you.
Exactly, exactly. That's the headline here, right there. I want to touch on this TNA WWE crossover. I'm sure this is the question you're
Uh-huh.
asked by every single person you talk to. First Class versus the Pride, with B-Fab or even Cedric and Ashante. Are these
Mm-hmm.
matches that I know that they're kind of doing their thing with specifically NXT, and they're not in NXT, but do you think that's something that could happen with the history, making fans,
Oh, absolutely. Me and Rich Swan, if anybody's going to walk through that quote unquote forbidden door from
whatever it's called?
NXT and TNA and to WWE and TNA, if anybody's going to do it, it's got to be me and Swanee. Swanee's is not only a TNA world champion, former, but he was a cruiserweight champion in WWE.
Yes.
Uh, I am the current TNA Digital Media Champion, and the fact that I was there twice and never got an opportunity to actually show what I can do, and now I am, and I'm everywhere, and I'm in your face with it. There's no way to deny my greatness anymore. So you have us come back, and yeah, I mean, we can go with the Pride. The Street Profits. We got a lot of mutual friendship there, as well as Cedric and Ashante. They're a great tag team as well. It is funny to me that I got released for B-Fab and Tahuti Ashante to be in the exact same role that they were in, almost a year ago when I got released, but that's neither here nor there. Have no problem, me and Swanee coming to WWE and beating the Street Profits, beating Ashante and Cedric, establishing TNA dominance. I have no problem with that. If the writers want to put that on the script, I'll accept my role. But I'm not worried about going back to WWE right now because I'm doing such a good job in TNA,
Yeah.
and it's not like they don't have my number. And they had my number both times they released me. So if they want me back, they have the same number.
Yeah. I would ask you, I know again, you get asked these questions. Who do you want to face for that title? But there's one person on the free agent list now that I think that would really be a great opponent for you because he's known to create viral moments. Reported that Ricochet's contract with WWE expired, free agent. Is that someone you'd want to see join TNA and wrestle you for that title?
Absolutely, 100%. Ricochet, I use this as an example, and I stole this from John Cruz, who's Serpentico in AEW. He's the person that trained me more than anyone else. And I use this quote from him. It was like, you stop trying to do crazy moves and start trying to get over with the crowd because you can't make a new move. Ricochet already exists.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Ricochet already exists. Ricochet is the guy. Ricochet, if you want to, in my personal opinion, what do I know about wrestling? I'm just a television host about wrestling history. In my personal opinion, Ricochet, if we're talking about in-ring ability, there's nobody better than him. There's
Yeah.
nobody. And I would love to put this on the line. Against him. I think that we would have an incredible match. We had an incredible 3-minute match on SmackDown. It was a lot of fun. We have the history there. Me and him are very good friends. And like I would love for the potential to put this on the line versus Ricochet. We would have an absolute banger of
Yeah.
a match. He's so good, and when you were lining this question up, I thought you were talking about Dijak, but you know,
Well,
but
he's out there
Ricochet
too. That
Ricochet
ratio.
is definitely yeah. No, I don't want to face Dijak for this because I don't want to get ratioed, and I don't want to pretend that ratios matter in 2024. It's not 2019. We need to grow up. Okay, so but back to Ricochet, he's one of the greatest, if not, in my opinion, the greatest in ring guy ever. I mean, the way he sells, the way he moves, the moves that he does,
Yep.
it's undeniable. They say the rumors are he's going to AEW. That's what I've heard. They say that on the interwebs. They say that on the interwebs.
Say a lot of stuff.
They say a lot of stuff on the interwebs, true.
Yeah.
But I would love if I got a chance to defend this against Ricochet because, in my opinion, there's nobody better.
This last question I have for you, I want to touch on Bray Wyatt because I know how important he was to you. What do you think about all this Uncle Howdy Wyatt Six stuff that they're doing? And
Amazing,
yeah, and
amazing, amazing.
what do you know? Has he ever told you anything? Did you ever hear anything about Taylor and what he was, had the potential to do?
No, I mean, we had discussions about what we wanted to do: Hit Row versus
Yeah,
Bray and Uncle Howdy. I pitched this whole storyline based around Leprechaun in the Hood.
yeah,
Hold on, my agent's calling me. I'm gonna send him the voicemail. Um, I had this whole idea that we were going to do a storyline after WrestleMania, which would have led to a tag team match of Bray with the Fiend and Uncle Howdy versus Hit Row, which would have also involved in the storyline that I drew up and sent to creative and whatnot, which would have also involved Alexa Bliss coming back, which now is a Nikki Cross. But it's like it's awesome, man. Like what they're doing is amazing, and the little like psychotic break promos,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're amazing. And it like not only shuts up any people that have like they're answering all the questions about all those idiots like, "Oh, do
yeah,
you think you're stealing your brother's legacy?" Or and he's like, he's like, "How did you feel when your brother died?" Right? And it's like these are things that like, and it not only is like amazing to see, Taylor in that role, playing that role, and he's doing such an amazing job, but he's also not playing a role.
yeah,
Like what he's saying is dead ass true. And like he feels that in his soul, and you can see it through the camera. So
yes,
it's like, and it like in the storyline and in character in wrestling, it
yep,
like makes the character make sense. It answers all the questions that you have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's perfect.
yeah,
It couldn't be better. I said this on Twitter too. I said, I've seen enough. Give Uncle Howdy all the titles. Give him the world title. Give it to him. I've seen enough. I don't need to see anything else. Give it to him. Give it to him. Uncle Howdy versus Cody Rhodes, SummerSlam, book it. I'm telling you, just give it to him. Give
I
it to
love
him.
it. They're answering questions and making the fans like create more questions because they're
Yeah.
answering everything and they're leaving little things unsaid where you can question
Yeah.
it. It's some deep mental stuff that
Yeah.
makes the fans think, which is the best part about it. But AJ, where could all the fans listening and watching, where could they check you out, find you, follow you? I know you got some stuff coming up in Brooklyn and all that fun stuff. So where can they find you?
You can follow me on all social media at AJ Francis 410. Every single social media outlet that you use, you can find me at AJ Francis 410. I got a lot of things coming up. The most pressing thing that I have coming up is Slammiversary. It's one of the biggest pay-per-views in any wrestling company all year, and I'm going to be playing a major role in it. So I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for the opportunity that TNA has presented me, being a flag bearer for them, being a champion for them. So I'm very grateful for the people at TNA. Shout out TNA. Nobody does it better. It's the best wrestling company in the world. If you don't believe me, watch for yourself. And I'm just very excited for what's coming up this summer. It's a first class summer. It's a new year, and we outside.
I love it, man. AJ, thanks so much for your time today. I love what you're doing. You're about your business and your passion, and it's inspiring to see, you're doing everything that you can in the world of wrestling, but you're on the outside of the ring too, doing some cool shit. So, and to see each member of Hit Row really today where they are, it just shows how great that start was for you guys, and everything you're doing.
How great it could have been. How great it could have been.
There's
sometimes
still potential there.
Sometimes people cut off the nose despite the face. You know what I'm saying?
But look where you are now. TNA Digital Media Champion, Slammiversary. Big things are coming. I'm excited for you. And thanks again for your time, man.
I appreciate you, brother.